بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعاديات ضبحا فالموريات قدحا فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's happening? Happy Friday. Let me know. Put something in the chat. First order of business. Put something in the chat, please. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. The Asiatic. What's up? Peace. Can you hear me, though? Let me know if I'm good on the mic check. Miss Pure Gold. I'm good. Happy Friday. Cash and control. What up? I'm thinking you saying I'm good money when you say that. Ike Sessions, what's happening? Man? Happy Friday, Juma Mubarak, Shalom, Shabbat. Mike is good. Thank you, Yusef. I appreciate it. Mike is good. What up, everybody? What's happening? Oh, okay, the Asiatic is Arrow. What's going on? My man Johnny Williams in the building. Thank you, Miss Pure Gold. Appreciate it. Well, we're going to bring up a testimonial in a minute. We're going to come later to that, though. Boop. Where's it at? Give me this layout right here. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have a great conversation today. For sure. Do me a favor, everybody in the building. Click the thumbs up button for me. And let me put something on my stomach, man. I'm trying to cleanse like throughout the day and then eat one meal a day. So your brother's going through it right now. Then I got me some clove water with cinnamon right now. But hold on. Look like I'm drinking moonshine. Nope, but it's clove water with a little cinnamon. Right. So click the thumbs up button for me. And then let me light this spliff. Psych YouTube. I'm lighting Palo Santo stick real quick. Light my stick, my Palo Santo stick. This is my spliff. All right. Okie dokie. Y'all ready to rock and roll? Y'all ready? All right. So Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Happy Friday again. Shalom Shabbat Juma Mubarak. Happy Friday to everybody. The beautiful holy day. Again, may the peace and blessings be upon the Prophet and all of those who have passed, in fact, and definitely my brethren Ali for sure. Today's conversation is Black Mothers of Islam in Arabia. All right. And that's hold on, I got a question in the chat. I ain't bring the pen, man. So where can I get the healthy hookah? They listen on Amazon, they got tea and it's vegan hookah. I personally don't like it. They don't really feel like nothing. So I don't deal with it. But it's out there on Amazon. They got flavors, of course, but it's tea. Okay. And then on Amazon, there is this pen that I got that has thyme in it. Maybe it's something else. It's three things, three ingredients in there that's good for clearing up the lungs and whatnot. So I'm on week 2. Today is like my 2-week anniversary of not smoking hookah. All right. So I made a commitment that if I do it, it'll be somewhere in February, but I need to chill out all the way to then and whatnot. All right. So I want to help you out with that if you really need some good hookah and whatnot. All right. So maybe I'll find that pin and I can drop it in the chat. All right. So Black Mothers of Islam in Arabia. Yeah, let's go ahead and cook it, man. Let's go ahead and get into this. This is basically like a part 2, maybe even a part 3 that I did called The Black Woman, the Mother of Islam. I already did this, but I'm about to give you something totally different, of course, right? But that's here on this channel. I got with B. I said, hey, B, make sure that, you know, we can edit this video and throw the part 1 and the part 2 at the end as a suggested video so you can link it all together to see the magnificence of this. Because at the core, let me back up some, man. At the core, let me take my time. At the core, this is about to get beautiful. At the core, the Black woman absolutely is the mother, actually the founder and mother of Islam. Yeah, I'm gonna say founder. Absolutely. Your genetics is the founder. Okay. And that's a very beautiful thing, especially for women who may be adverse to Islam, who may think that, you know, they may just think it's something else, whether it be too Eastern or whether it be too much Nation of Islam, whatever the case may be. But you don't know that you got your origins, you know, as a cultural people is in the beginning phases of Islam. All right. The actual beginning. Okay. All right. So I wanted to bring up the matriarch, the elephant, because I don't know if we know that the lady elephant, the female elephant, okay, she's the oldest, most experienced female. She leads the entire elephant herd. Um, she's the one that makes the decisions of when and where the herd moves, find water sources, avoids danger. She passes down knowledge, skills, and memories of food, water locations to the younger females who then teach their own calves. She is often at the front of the group when facing threats and protects the calves in her care. All right. So they say she acts as the social and emotional cornerstone of the herd, maintaining its cohesion. Yes. And this is interesting because Black women, grandmothers, you know, some of us probably our mamas, you know what I mean? They always had these elephant statues and elephant pictures. See, back in the day, right? See, back in my day, right? So back in the day, it was like grandma knew this instinctually already. Okay. How many of y'all, hey Shalom, young yo, you gotta make sure you attend Sunday class because this I'm gonna show you something on David and Goliath. I'm getting your Hebrew bag for a second. But how many of us, you know, can recall that? You know what I mean? So just drop something in the chat, drop a 7 in the chat if you can recall growing up in Black America, grandma or somebody, that older woman, had these pictures and or statues of elephants. All right. Now, I'm not saying that the woman should lead. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is she will lead in certain things. You will lead in certain things as man. So I want to be clear about that. All right. Because I'm going to address this retarded battle of the sexes, this patriarchy, matriarchy bullcrap. All right. That's going to come up a little later. What's ironic, though? What's ironic is the year that the prophet was born, in the year 570, is called the year of the elephant. And this is very, very interesting because they say, hey, there was a Christian leader who wanted to come into Mecca, and this is before Islam, and subdue everybody and make them pay homage to, you know, what he was doing. And He came in on elephants, but the birds attacked them with stones and actually defeated them. And this is known as in Islam as the year of the elephant. Again, it's the same year that the prophet is born. It's very interesting. Okay. Moving on though. Moving on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, especially you ladies, okay, the Bible says this about you. I am still seeking reason for things, but have not found any. I have found one man out of 1,000 who had it, but out of all these, I didn't find one woman. So Ecclesiastics is Solomon coming to the realization that everything is worthless. Learning everything, getting all the money, everything becomes worthless. He finds the paradox. He finds the opposite side of the equation. What good is building it all when I leave it to this person squanders it, you know? So what good was all my work? What good is learning and I still can't stop learning? It don't mean don't do nothing. It's just a beautiful state of reflection. But in this particular state, he says that he only found one good man amongst thousands and couldn't find one woman. Now, is this to say that women are no good? Absolutely not. You can't say that, because if you understand Solomon, then you understand that he is reported to have hundreds upon hundreds of concubines and just really, really in love with women. If you understand Solomon, his only transgression was what? He financed the temples for women who believed in God in a different way than what was prescribed to him and his forefathers. So he had to keep saying he was sort of like a sugar daddy in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, girl. I'll build your temple. They'll go ahead. I pay for it. Go ahead. You want to worship God that way? Go ahead. You want to pray to the moon goddess? Go ahead. You want to pray to this? Go ahead. Go ahead. It's all good in my kingdom. But what I found very interesting is God didn't chastise him and punish him for such. The punishment, we can argue about that perhaps. The punishment was basically the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel would no longer be united. Because of this, there will be a split in the future. That was the punishment. Okay. But I got a picture here because when you go to Egypt, which is going to be important, very important in today's conversation, there's this concept of mayat, this concept of balance, where man and woman are evenly on the throne. And we got to get back to that state of really understanding the divine counterpart. That's it. It's real basic. It's kind of like basic elementary stuff. You know, I think even kindergartners know this stuff because you got crushes in kindergarten. You know, they ain't trying to subdue nobody. You know, I'm better than you. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Right? So it's a divine balance that must play out, because inside of that African DNA, you know this. Okay. All right. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get this logo off the screen. There we go. All right. So let's move on to Prophet. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, "Hey, woman, I'm bringing you out of the cares of the world. I have to save humanity. This is what salvation looked like. He's carrying a woman. This is more science. This is the first time Islam is coming to America in an organized body politic. He's carrying a woman. Yes. You move over to the predecessors next up in line. Honorable Elijah Muhammad says he teaches that the black woman in particular is the mother of civilization. If we go to MGT and GCC posts in the Southwest region, Muslim girls training, they say what? We thank the most honorable Elijah Muhammad for teaching us that 75% of the work is with the woman and 25% is with the man. And when you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach an entire nation. Go ahead, Matriarch Elephant. He also teaches us that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. As MGT and GCC, the Nation of Islam, we strive daily to be examples of righteous women of God. Alhamdulillah. Yes. So in early Islam in America, the chief architects are saying, hey, 75% of the work is done with the woman. The prophet comes and say, hey, I got to uplift fallen humanity. He will also create a women's auxiliary order where women come together and they do pins and they do like charitable events, sort of like the Eastern Stars in Masonry, the female version of Masons. Okay. Prophet also created that. Okay. So the founders of Islam is in America is putting a strong emphasis on the black woman. Okay. Here's the last sermon of Prophet Muhammad. He said, "O people, is it true? It is true that you have certain rights with regard to your women, but they also have rights over you." Talk about it. We don't hear that. Remember that you have taken them as your wives. I underline this, only under Allah's trust. And I said, wow, imagine taking a woman with the whole intention of understanding that you're taking her under the trust of God. Yes. And with his permission, if they abide by your right, then to them belongs the right to be fed and clothed in kindness. Do treat your women well and be kind to them, for they are your partners and committed helpers. Uh-oh, ladies. They are your partners and committed helpers. And it is your right that they do not make friends with any one of whom you do not approve, as well, never to be unchaste. Okay. All right. So today's conversation absolutely has to go to my brother Mustafa Briggs, who wrote the book Beyond Bilal. Yes. So Bilal is the one who calls the prayer at the time of the prophet. He was an African slave who was freed, I believe, by Abu Bakr. Yes. And he is the one who calls the prayer. Yes, that's why you see that black man standing on top of the Kaaba. But Mustafa's work said we're going to go beyond Bilal and get into some history. Okay. So I should have put the source on this site that I got this from, but they say the original Arabs are the same as Africans. The Prophet Muhammad was a black man from the Quraysh tribe. The picture is they saying this is a key keeper of the Kaaba from the Banu Shaba tribe, a subset of the Quraysh tribe, which Prophet Muhammad is from. The Shaba had been guardians of the Kaaba since before Muhammad's time. Don't mean that he's African per se, even though they're saying the Arabs are the same as Africans. Mustafa Briggs is saying, hey, no, you would consider them African, but they're black. People would say in today's time, easily black. Okay. All right. Now, this is totally different from what we see in Shia Islam when they say, hey, the 12 Imams are, you know, they always paint this depiction of some European looking people, right? Here's another version of it. Okay. And this is important. This is important because history shows, for some strange reason, everybody seems to want to, I'm going to call it blackwash. I don't believe it's whitewash. When you wash something, it becomes, you want to wash out the black faces for some strange reason. I don't, what's going on here? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. But some things you just got to pay attention to. You're like, well, hold on. Yeah. You're blowing the nose off the Sphinx and stuff in Egypt. Come on, man. We know for facts it's racism. We know this. Hey, you was involved in the slave trade, so were we. You was involved in the slave trade too, so nobody's 100% clean. I'm clear on that. But I promise you, though, it seems like the ones who want to tell the story, who are not the Africans telling the story, the other people, either who maybe we enslaved or they enslaved us, they don't want to tell the truth in its totality. And when they start depicting people that's supposed to be us, they give it to a total different, let's just say, race. Very interesting. But this is what we know. Hagar is an Egyptian. We start with her because she is the wife of Abraham, right? And this is what Abraham has his first child, Ishmael. She is the hand servant of Sarah. Sarah's jealous, and Sarah's like, oh, no, I don't believe you to slept with this beautiful black woman. She would never respect me. You get rid of her and the kid. Yeah, they got to get out my house. Y'all got to go. B, you got me effed up. That's what it was. The baby mama drama. So Ibrahim is having baby mama drama. Now, this is real stuff. This ain't nothing. Man, listen, it's nothing new under the sun. Abraham is having baby mama drama. Go read it for yourself in the Bible. Sarah is salty about him getting Hagar pregnant. And if I'm not mistaken, it was actually her suggestion because she thought she couldn't have kids, and I'm gonna let you sleep with her, and then got mad about it. Ain't that something? So her and that baby got to go. Hagar is, they said, clearly said, is an Egyptian. So it's a black woman. Okay. All right. Inside of the black woman, there is something called mitochondrial DNA. It is. Pay attention to cellular structure. Cellular structure says, hey, it has 37 genes. Energy production, mitochondrial DNA produces something called ATP, which is the fuel for cells. You inherit this from your mother. Okay? Let's keep going. That's what mitochondria, they say, looks like. This is why I tell you there's no single state reality, because even when you go inside of a cell, you have all of these things. And I promise when you go inside of those things, you're going to find more things. There's no such thing as a single thing. Okay? We'll move on. So what does this say? An egg cell has hundreds of thousands of mitochondria, 100,000 to 200,000, while sperm only has 50 to 75. Okay? So what happens is, at the very bottom, sperm cell inheritance, sperm cell mitochondria are not passed on to the embryo as they are outcompeted by the egg's mitochondria after fertilization. In fact, these sperm mitochondria gets destroyed. No. Okay. All right. Now, mitochondria to the left is located in cytoplasm. To the right, cytoplasm is water. To the bottom, the Quran says what? We made from water every living thing. I showed you before that the Quran says we taught you. Taught is ilm. Ilm is knowledge, but knowledge also means natural sciences. And there's a whole bunch of them. And hence the Quran is a book that is composed of biology, astronomy, geology, psychology. Easy. Those four alone. Easy. And you can dare say history. 5. Easy. Easy. Okay. All right. So the Quran says we made every living thing from water. Okay. Every living thing. Now, this makes me look at this verse different, where it says, Hamim, by the clear book, indeed, we have made it an Arabic Quran that you may understand Indeed, it is in the mother of the book with us, exalted, full of wisdom. The mother of the book with us. Whoa. Now, could this be alluding to, is the mother of the book mitochondria DNA? And with us, a lot, the intelligence that exists within it. Oh, oh, I dare say yes. I dare say yes and shall prove it. Okay. Now you got to ask yourself a couple things with this verse. First of all, how you start off with ha mean? You start off with 2 letters. That tells you in of itself the Quran is absolutely a puzzle. It's a symbolic matrix that has multiple dimensions to it. One chapter says what? Like Aleph, Lam, Sheen, and these are the verses of the book. What? How are 3 letters the verses of the book? How? Possibly. And I always say it. Okay, please tell me what is under Aleph's control that Shin doesn't have, and what is under their control that the letter Meme doesn't have, and what does Meme have that they don't have? Since these 3 letters make up the whole entirety of the book, riddle me that. What's the difference? This is where you now have to enter, Muslim. You now absolutely have to enter into the spiritual dimension of the text. Okay? All right. So is the mother of the book mitochondria? So Hagar's story, if you don't know, you new to this. If you're new to this, again, everybody click the thumbs up button for me if you're new to this. And let me make sure I'm good in the chat when I see stuff. All right, cool. What's up, Sharita? Hagar's story is what? Hey, Sarah kicked me out because she was tripping. Me and my son, we got kicked out. Now, Abraham then took us somewhere in the hot old desert, and he bailed out on us. He left, right? So Hagar is in a panic state, and she's running in between 2 mountaintops, right? And then all of a sudden, the angel appeared, Jabril, who we know as Gabriel, comes and said, hey, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, water comes out the ground, and now you can nourish and give life force energy. That's all the story is about. This is a story in of itself right here. Although Ishmael has a father, Abraham, but here again, that water, life force energy in this woman, in the absence of the father, is getting busy. This is a story of mitochondria. Okay. So then the water come is known as the Zamzam well today. Very good water, might I add. Let's read. So in Islam, the Zamzam well is strongly associated with Hagar, the infant son, and her infant son, Ishmael. Yes? Okay. Just wanted to make sure it ain't lying so you can see that at the very top. Next thing, let's ask the question. Is Prophet Muhammad, is he connected or is he kinfolk with Ishmael? Yes, according to Islamic tradition and historical accounts, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is considered a direct descendant to Ishmael. Yes? Okay. And who? Prophet Abraham. And who? Hagar. Yes? The lineage traced through the Arab tribes, specifically through the tribe of Quraysh. All right. Okay, let's read Mustafa Briggs' works. Beyond Bilal says, what? The Prophet Muhammad himself was more direct in his description of his distant relatives in Egypt. And we see him telling his companions in a narration found in the Sirah, which is a prophetic biography of Ibn Hisham, specifying the people in the area where his ancestors, Hagar, yes, came from. Beware of Allah regarding the people under protection in Egypt, the people with jet black skin and curly hair, for we share with them lineage and marriage relations. This narration refers to the lineage traced through Hagar, the mother of Ishmael, and the marital relations between the fact that the prophet himself had a wife named Maria, known as Maria the Cop, Maria the Egyptian. Some say she was Ethiopian. Like you have the Ethiopian Coptic church. Yes. So Maria the Cop from amongst them who gave birth to his last son, Ibrahim. Oh, he got a black baby mama. Y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Prophet Muhammad has a black baby mama. Y'all know that? Astaghfirullah, a wife. Okay? I got to speak in terms that you can get it. All right? Did you also know that the prophet had, after his mother passed away when he was very young, he had an Ethiopian mother to take care of him. You know that? Umm Ayman, right? Yes. He had an Ethiopian mother take care of him. Often cited as the mother after my mother. Okay? Now, Ishmael is said to live in the wilderness of Paran. This is in Genesis 21:21, where his mother Hagar, who got him a wife from where? Egypt. Okay, hold on. So, Hagar is Egyptian. She has to get out. Her and Ishmael rose to the desert. He's old enough. When he gets old enough to have a wife, she says, hey, you, my Egyptian, which means what? My Egyptian mitochondria. Remember, mitochondria means it is the invisible energy that creates the substance for cells. Without mitochondria, you die. This is a fact. Okay? So Ishmael has the invisible energy mitochondria of an Egyptian woman. Now, when it's time for him to get married, she takes him back to Egypt, where she's from, to give him an Egyptian woman. Okay? All right. Let's come to Numbers 12. Miriam and Aaron began to criticize Moses because he was married to a woman from where? Sudan. Amen. So Ibrahim has, which is Abraham, he has an Egyptian wife, Hagar. Ishmael's going to have an Egyptian wife. And now you're telling us Musa also had a wife from Nubia. They say Cush. Some translations, as you see, says what? Sudan. So he has a black wife too. Oh, y'all love some black women. If you want to depict, especially if you're going to depict them as, nah, they Jewish. They not black. The Jews not black. That's if you want to pick. Okay, well, y'all sure love y'all some black nookie. Okay? All right. So in Genesis 25:13-16, here go the 12 sons of Ishmael are born. All right. And this is going to become important because later Islam is going to model itself after the Shia are going to model themselves after this, and they're going to have 12 Imams. And we want to pay close attention to Imam number 6. Jafar ibn Muhammad, are known as al-Sadiq. Okay? All of these are family. Fathers above them. Okay? All right. Now, when you understand Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, he has 2 sons. You got Ishmael and you have Imam Musa. Now, what's going to happen is at the death of Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, people are going to follow Musa, the oldest son. They're going to be called the 12ers, hence the 12 Imams. And then the people who follow Ishmael is going to be known as the Ismaili Shiism. Okay, which later the Fatimid dynasty in green that you see is going to come up under that lineage right there. Okay. And I find it very, very intriguing. As I say, the Fatimid dynasty is the only Shia dynasty, the caliphate, that ran the whole entire region. The Maghreb, Northwest Africa, Arabia, yes, going over into what we would call Palestine and all of that as well. Yes. This is the only Shia dynasty to get this power when they align themselves up to their mother, Fatima, which is the prophet's daughter. I just like to watch the hand of Allah. I like to watch it. How do you move? Who do you make victorious? What's their name? What do they represent? Why is that victorious? What is your story? Why or what are you talking about? You understand? The moment that you align yourself up with the feminine aspect of it, you became victorious. No other Shia dynasty ran the whole area of Islam. Everything else was Sunni. Okay? All right. So now we got to ask the question, because this is what I know about Jafar al-Sadiq. Is he a Sufi? Is he a mystic? Yes, Jafar al-Sadiq is considered an early influential figure in the development of Islamic mysticism, and his teachings are central to Sufism. You see this? You see this? So he's a mystic. Guess what else? He has something known as the Mystical Quran, a collection of Sufi commentaries that explores the esoteric or inner meanings of the Quran beyond its literal text. Attributed to the sixth Shia Imam, this work, often compiled in texts like Spiritual Gems, posits the Quran has 4 levels of meaning: the literal, the allegorical, the spiritual, and the exalted doctrine for the prophets. The sixth Imam is saying there are 4 meanings to the Quran. 4. I showed you last week where Ali said with the Fatiha alone, he can fill the back of 70 camels just off the first chapter. I'm going to tell you it's more than 4 meanings. But even with so, here is an Imam in the early days telling you it's 4 meanings, bare minimum, to the Quran. Okay? So let's read this. Jafar al-Sadiq himself, who was considered the 6th Imam in the Shia tradition, married an enslaved Nubian woman named Hadima, yes, who he freed from slavery and taught. She attained such a high level of knowledge that any woman who would come to study with Imam Jafar would be sent to her to be a student, right? Sent to be her student. She bore him a son, Imam Musa al-Kazim, who became the 7th Imam, who also married a Nubian and had a son named Ali al-Rida. He followed his father and grandfather and married an African woman, as did his son, Imam al-Jawad. By the time we arrive at the 10th Imam, Muhammad al-Taqwi, this branch of Prophet's family is as black as can be, with Muhammad al-Taqwi being genetically 94% African and his son Hassan al-Askari being 97% African. This reality is disappointingly displaced in the most popular Shia pictures, right? Iconographies that depict the 12 Imams, as I showed y'all earlier, often resembling the Persian Shias more than African Imams that they were. Again, this is Mustafa Briggs' work, Beyond Bilal. Yes, I don't have it over here. So I said, okay, Mustafa, I am going to just do a simple search myself. I hear what you're saying. You saying from the 6th to the 10th, and you actually went further than the 10th, because I'm going to show you. You're saying that from the 6th to the 10th Imam, let's go to the 11th. You're saying that all of these guys kept marrying women from Africa? The Prophet did. So why wouldn't they? But I want to know if it's true. So let's get to searching. Let's get to searching. Because that's what he said. The Imam from 6 all the way to 11. Because the last one that we heard was who? Al-Askari. Yes? So let's see if this is true. All right, let's start with Imam number 6. Hamida Khatun was the wife of Imam Jafar al-Sadiq and the mother of the 7th Shia Imam Musa. Origin, slave girl from the Maghreb or Al-Andalus, which is what? You know, Al-Andalus means what? Moorish Spain. The Maghreb is Northwest Africa. Okay? Yep. So that checks out for Imam number 6, Hadima. Okay? All right. Let's move on to Imam number 7. Yes, the wife of Imam Musa al-Kazim, Najma Khatun, was from North Africa. Her mother-in-law, Hamida, was also from North Africa and was of Berber origin. So Imam number 7 checks out with an African wife. Let's move to Imam number 8, Al-Rida. Yes, the wife of Imam Al-Rida, Sabika, was from Nubia. That's black. Now you're talking about Sudan. It's black. Sabika was from Nubia, an area what is now southern Egypt and northern Sudan, and was the daughter of a Nubian nobleman. So number 8 checks out. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9, Imam Muhammad al-Jawad did not have an African wife, but dig this. But his second wife, Samana al-Maghribia, which is the Maghreb, was from where? North Africa, the Maghreb. So they don't know what you're talking about. The Maghreb. And was mother of the 10th Imam. His own mother, Lady Sabika, was also of African descent. Yes. So that's Imam number 9. Let's go to Imam number 10. The 10th Imam, Ali al-Hadi's wife, was named Salil, also known as Hudieth or Susan, who was from Naba and is believed to have been of African descent. She was the mother of the 11th Imam. Yes. Origin. She was a concubine for Naba, a region with historical ties to Africa, and is widely considered to have been of African origin. Let's move to the 11th one. The 11th Imam, Hassan al-Askari's wife, was named Nargis, also called Malika, right? Or Malika or Malika, that's queen. Yes. Or Susan or Rayana. Origin. Some sources indicate she was of African descent, and others describe her as being from Nubia or having a Nubian origin. So the 11th Imam marries a woman from Nubia. So now let's talk about the Mahdi. So Mustafa works check out. Let's talk about the 12th Imam, because the 12th Imam is supposed to be who? The Mahdi, the rightly guided one, who they're saying is in hiding ever since the year 874. That gives us like 1100 something years that this guy has been hiding. I'm not going to pick on that. The point is his mother is black from the Sudan, Nubian origins. The 11th Imam. Yes. She's the mother of the 12th Imam. So the Shia who prize themselves in Al-Mahdi, the 12th final Imam, who's going to come at the end of the world, who's been in the cave hiding all these years, You must got a lot of special power. I don't know what you're waiting on. But anyway, his mother is African. The very essence that powers that man's superpower in cells are African. I would have loved to heard that side of the story from you, from Middle Eastern Arab Muslims. I would have loved to have heard that story. But hey, I don't get out much. So, maybe it's already out there. I'm sure it is. All right. Moving on. So what did you just see, ladies and gentlemen? What did y'all just see? From left to right, you saw that the sixth Imam had an African wife from Northwest Africa. She gave birth to the seventh Imam, and the seventh Imam married a woman named Najma, and she was from Northwest African Berber. She gave birth to the eighth Imam. The eighth Imam married a woman named Sabika, and she was from Nubia, and it also said she was from the same tribe as the Prophet's wife, Maria the Copt. When we moved to the ninth Imam, you saw he was married to Samaria from Northwest Africa. When we got to the 10th Imam, he married Salil, they said, of African origins. And then the final Imam, or not the final Imam, but the final wife, Nargis, who married the 11th Imam, she is the mother of the infamous Mahdi, and they say she is from Nubia. They ain't give you, see, Northwest Africa, they try to play with you and say this is a mixture of people. This is, Arabs mixed with Africans and stuff. Well, Nubia, in those times, you black. That's what we just saw. What we saw earlier and all together, Moses had a wife from Sudan. That's what the Bible says. Abraham had a wife from Egypt. Prophet Muhammad has a wife from Ethiopia / Egypt, actually two, but okay, yes. His last wife who he had a son with. Ishmael has a wife from Egypt. And then you just saw these beautiful six are the wives and mothers of the Imams, all in Islam. That's what we see. Both Bible and Quran giving you the legacy of prophecy coming through the Milky Way galaxy, the black woman. How beautiful. I wish I would have known this stuff way beforehand. And this is important because, see, your psyche, which I'm going to get to, your psyche can play with you because it feels so foreign. You think Islam is an Arabic thing. It's an Arab thing. So I got to disconnect with it. Christianity, when it's the Catholic Church, it feels too much like European Rome. They don't relate to me. So there's a disconnect that happens within these spiritual schools. Okay. Who remember this? Now you're telling your age, man. Telling your age. How this is like 1991. I ain't gonna say the word. DJ Quick is in the fucking house. Yeah, it was a whole song called Sweet Black. Yeah, y'all love it. Somebody love y'all. Hey, listen, somebody love y'all. It's clear. Okay. All right, moving on. And then we know this to be true. We know that the Catholic Church pays homage to the black woman in child. Again, this is mitochondria because there's no father in the picture. So it's talking about an energy that comes from the black woman. What else am I to deduce from this? Yes, it's nothing new. The whole church refers to the church as a woman. The church itself is considered the Holy Mother. Yes. Speed it up. The Nation of Islam's main mosque is called what? Mosque Mary a woman, Mary. Y'all seeing this? So now here's the question, because this word gets good. Here's the question. Is mitochondria DNA in the Quran? Oh. Is mitochondria DNA in the Quran? Because, see, that's the questions I have. Well, I'm looking at this history in real time this week, as it always happens. I'm looking. I said, okay, do something on the black woman, Islam. Let's tie this in, put some visuals to it, right? Wait a minute. Hold on. If you're dealing with the woman, that's mitochondria. Go look into what this mitochondria thing is. So then I got to say, okay, Allah, if you cover all things, and the Quran teaches this, the Quran says, go to 65 verse 12. The Quran says in the very end, Allah encompasses all things in knowledge, meaning is in and surrounds. Allah is in and surrounds all things of knowledge. Now, something you made the human being. Yes, that's what we under the impression that there is a God who made the human being. So if you made the human being and the human beings, the woman is the only one that passes on the mitochondria, is that in the Quran? I think something as vital as that should be somewhere in the holy book. Maybe it's not in this school, but maybe it's over here. And this is why it's important to really know. But it's in the Quran. Heavily, cleverly put in. So I asked questions like this just to give you a point on how beautiful the Quran is, to give you a reference. I asked a question. I said, did the Quran know about the golden ratio? I'm going to show you how dope the Quran is. Now, the golden ratio is just a simple formula. It says if you take the long side divided by the short side, that will be equal to the long and short side total divided by the long side. And no matter what those coordinates are, it's always going to be 1.618. This is known as the golden ratio. Okay? So I said, well, if this is a fact, because that's a mathematical fact, if this is a fact, does the Quran have the golden ratio? So you know what I did? I went to a golden ratio calculator. And as you can see, the whole part I put in 114 because it's 114 chapters in the Quran. You know what it did? It said the short side is 43. 43 is a surah called what? Ornaments of gold. I said, alhamdulillah. I didn't read that. And there's nothing wrong if I did. I'll tell you, today we're going to give props to Mustafa Briggs. I'm telling you, when I'm studying certain things, I ask the question, is it in the Quran? Let me go. And I get guided to it. Now, you mean to tell me when you put 114 chapters in, the total number, in the golden ratio calculator, it comes out to literally be a chapter, the number 43, a chapter that's titled gold, the gold ornaments. And if you know anything and you've been paying attention to my videos, the big N 70.4, go to chapter 70, verse 4, because that's the verse that's going to tell you exactly where the angels ascend. The angels in the spirit are going to a specific location, the amount of which is 50,000 years. And the question becomes, well, what is that? I've already done that numerous times. But I find it interesting that that location is pointing to the creation of our Milky Way, or the creation of our solar system, to be correct, not our Milky Way, the creation of our solar system, sun, earth, planets, moon, us. That location is pointing to us, our creation point. That's one part of the golden mean. And then the other part of the golden mean is the chapter that literally starts off, or is named gold. Come on, man. This is why I love the Quran. It's the dopest book ever. I'm going with that. No, Jew. It ain't the Bible. It's the Quran, right? I'm telling you, we got to do this show. We got to do a show. We got to do a show on this. All right. So let's go inside of something real fast. Come back to mitochondria. I want you to please note 37 genes. I want you to note that energy production, yes, the genes in mitochondrial DNA code for proteins essential for mitochondria primary function, yes, for producing ATP, yes, for the cell. Okay, question. So we can be clear. Can you live without ATP? No, cells cannot survive without ATP. You will die, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have ATP. Okay? This comes from a woman. Okay? All right. Now, let's read at the very top. And we got verse 37 because here comes mitochondria. Y'all ready? But when she delivered her, she said, "My Lord, I have delivered a female." And Allah was most knowing of what she delivered, and the male is not like the female. Woohoo. And I have named her Mary, talking about Moses' sister. And I seek refuge for her in you and for her descendants from Satan, the expelled one. Let's break that down. Let's just deal with 36 for a minute. It's a woman that's being born, a girl. We're looking for mitochondria in the DNA. And now they're specing out a woman. And then they tell us the woman and the male is not like the female. So now you're separating the gender. The male is not like the female. Wait a minute. Why didn't you say the female is not like the male? The male is not like the female. That implies what? That the female must have something that the male does not. The male is not like the female. See, on the regular verses, on the regular understanding, you know how people interpret that? Because the men are men and strong and they have the birthright. Therefore, the male is not like her. Totally missing it. I'll prove it. Here it comes. So let's go into 37. Note it is verse 37 because we want to look for 37 genes. We want to get a pinpoint match on that. So her Lord accepted her with good acceptance and caused her to grow in a good manner and put her in the care of Zechariah. Every time Zechariah entered upon her in the prayer chamber, he found with her provision. He said, "Oh, Mary, where is this coming to you?" She said, "It is from Allah. Indeed, Allah provides for whom he wills without account." Ladies and gentlemen, provision is sustenance. Yes? Let's get into it, Noble. Because the word that they use is ras. Yes? Or RZQ. Yes? Or razak. To provide with means of sustenance. Go to the bottom. Livelihood, means of living, substance, daily bread, nourishment, sustenance again. Yes. Yes. Huh? Now, Johnny is saying 36 through 38 ATP are made in cellular respiration too. Now, we should go look that up. Because if that's true, it's being revealed in 36 and 37 in the Quran about this woman it's a woman, and the male is not like the female. And then the next verse is saying, but God got her. And then Zechariah is like, yo, where are you getting this energy from? Where are you getting this life-sustaining substance from? And she says, I get it from God. Isn't it funny that he went and like, yo, where you get this money from? Where you get these cars from? Where you get all this Gucci and Louis from? He didn't say that. Where are you getting this substance from? He could have said, where you getting this food from? But he can't be food because he the man. So what? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, come on. Come on. Okay? So sustenance, the razak, the sustenance, the energy that she has in verse 37 is the 37 genes. Now, we have a little fun exercise real quick. Here's a fun little exercise we're going to get into. All this little hooping and hollering. The man is the one. No. The matriarch is the one. No. The black man is God. No, the black woman is God. It's the most foolish thing in the world. Because in the male side of the equation, science says it is the male that carries the S. What is it? Is it SYP? SRI. SRY gene that says, hey, this determines the male or the female. Yes. The male determines the gender. And I said, wow, that's so beautiful. Because on the left side of the equation, the man determines the gender. But then all of the cellular fuel that's needed to sustain life comes from the woman. You see how God play? Beautiful balance. So what did the Quran say? And I can tell this comes from I'm gonna speak for. I'm sorry, Allah. All wise, all knowing, all hearing. But this is just how I feel when I read this. We hurt God's feelings, y'all. Oh, mankind, what has deceived you concerning your Lord? The most generous, who created you, proportioned you, and balanced you. In whatever form he will, he put you together. Oh, mankind, what has deceived you from concerning your Lord? He proportions you. He balanced you. He balanced you. You see the scale? He balanced the man for gender determination. He balanced the woman for energy sustaining sustenance for life. He balanced us. Who in the hell came amongst us to make us think that, oh, we on something like this now? We fighting with one another. We don't understand function. What happened? What happened? Who has deceived us into such things? Oh no, man, I read that clearly. His feelings is hurt. And I get it. I get it. Man determines the gender. We can look at it this way. We can say, okay, come on, the woman, right? Take away that M. Yeah. She's the energy life giver, life sustainer. He's the determination. That's balance, man. That's how the creator made us. Ain't about no one without the other, one over the other. So let's break down mitochondria. Because it said it got 13 protein coding genes, 22 transfer RNA molecules, and then 2 RNA genes, or 22 transfer RNA genes. Yes. What did I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you the number 13? When you come back to the Hebrew, 13 represents 2 words, ahava, which means love, and echad, which means unity. You put those 2 together, you get 26, and that's the numerical value of Yahweh, or who you call Jehovah. 22, what a coincidence, it just so happens to be 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. 2 is very interesting. It's the only even prime number, and it really represents the number 2 is the only unity that exists. It's actually the only one that exists in creation. 2 is the only one that exists in creation. Oh, think what I'm saying. What you see right here is 2 that creates 1. Mathematically speaking, when we go to prime numbers, you don't see no other even number but the number 2. because the laws of prime say you must be divisible by yourself and the number one, which can only be the number one when you divide yourself. You understand that? So 2 is the first prime and the only prime. 2 is 1. The man or the woman, the chicken or the egg, both came into existence at the same time. And this is why I love China, because the yin yang symbol, they say, shut y'all dumbasses up. Y'all ain't figured it out yet. Bickering back and forth over the man, the woman, the X, the Y. The Y is a crippled X and all this retardedness, which still don't make sense, because that would still mean the Y came from the X. So therefore, inside of the woman was a man. And if it's man first, inside of a man is a woman. Ain't figured it out that they both come into existence at the same time. The 2 is the 1. I God create evil. I create good. I create evil. I God do all these things. That's what God says in the Bible. You got stuck on 2, not knowing that 2 is really 1. Did you know it's 2 hearts in the Quran? Now I'm going too far. I debated in showing this, because if you really understand this, this is the crux of the work that really need to be done. So I'm going to show some. There are 2 hearts in the Quran. 2. The one in the center is the heart that we need to understand. Fad. F-A-D, or Fa Hamza Dal. Yes? And you know the one up front, what they're called Qalb. Q-L-B. You know that one. The physical heart, the spiritual heart. Guess what? I ain't lying. The heart did not lie about what it saw. Huh? What you mean? The heart first. So the heart can talk. Number one, the heart can lie, make up a story, because you're saying the heart didn't lie. So if you say it didn't lie, I'm under the presumption that, well, can it lie? But it can talk, right? So the heart didn't lie what it saw. The heart can see. The heart got eyes now? What are you talking about? Heart here is fad. That heart is the heart that you have to develop, because it has perceptional abilities. Again, you can go study. Heart has a nervous system. Thomas Jefferson Hospital in Philadelphia. Look into that if you want to see, does the heart have its own nervous system? Yes, it does. Okay. So here in the Quran, it's talking about a heart that has senses, seeing and talking. A heart that has senses. 2 hearts. The best thing I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is I can share an example with you on what this really looks like. And I'm going to share an example with you. I'm just going to call her an adept, right? That's just what I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm calling her adept, because I don't really like the term students. I check my ego at every turn that I get when I'm inside of life, but inside of spirituality. I don't like the idea of people under me per se, but so just bear with me. That's me. I don't like being nobody's boss. I don't like none of that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. Okay. All right. But I'm going to show you what this heart work really looks like. Okay.
It's actually casting off a false heart is what the golden heart is for me. Like the false heart.
I'll play it again.
For me, it's actually casting off a false heart is what the golden heart is for me. Like the false heart.
Okay. So being able to, let me bring this up. Sorry about that. Being able to cast off a false heart is the experience that Janine is experiencing while doing this particular work. This work, we call it the golden heart work, specifically with the heart and what's actually taking place. This is something that's known in the Quran, man. Now we hear it, the turning of the heart, because heart means turn as well. The turning of the heart, so turn your direction in the heart. Yeah. But I never seen, and I'm just gonna be honest, just me. And I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm just saying I just really wish a whole bunch of stuff, man. I really wish in the beginning somebody would have ran with the Quran and said, hey, bro, it's two hearts that they're talking about. This is a mystery. Come over here and figure this out. Hey, the black woman was the mother of all this. All these dudes kept marrying into these black women, bro. This is you. Come figure this out, bro. And if it's divine, because it has a knowledge, the golden mean, and things of that nature, that just is absolutely shows me that, hey, no, this is intelligence that's way bigger than this, than me, way bigger than a human being, way bigger. If you understand the Quran and things that it's talking about, somebody made an observation clearly from outer space, Okay. So you're saying that this is actually for us. Damn. I don't have to go through the dissonance, the cognitive dissonances, and the culture, and all that. Oh man, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Let's move on. Let's ask this question. What organ in the body or muscle in the body has the most mitochondria? The heart has the most mitochondria. Oh, watch this, ladies and gentlemen. In the healthy resting adult heart, this is about 95% of ATP, which is the energy. Primary energy source at the bottom. What do it say? 95%. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are you ready? This is why I love, I'm telling you now, this is why I love the Quran. This is why I love it. So science says the heart has it carries the most mitochondria right here. That's interesting. Give me a whole different viewpoint on breastfeeding. But then you're saying that 95% of the energy that is used, that the heart uses, it uses 95% of the energy. Yes? Okay. So here's the question. I know that physical heart is called, and it equals 132. When you minus 95, you get 37, and we got 37 genes, and it was in verse 37. Chapter 3 is actually called the family of Arman, which is who? Or Arman, which is who? The father, the family of Moses. So this is Moses, Aaron, and their sister, Mary. So when even in chapter 3, verse 37, titled the family, you're talking about genetics, ladies and gentlemen. And then when we superimpose that on today's science, 95% subtracted from the value of what the heart is, it matches exactly where and what it is talking about. Alhamdulillah. That's Quran. That's science. This book, I don't got the one my showboat one, but this is a Quran still. This is the Rashad Khalifa version. This book here, whole nother level. In one moment, we take you 50,000 light years away. Chapter 70, verse 4 is taking you 50,000 light years away. In another one, we take you 91 million miles away when you deal with Surah 91, and the distance to the sun is 91 million miles. That's just million miles. That's not light years. We take you 50,000 light years away. We take you 91 million miles away. We take you 8.6 light years in chapter 86 to Sirius, because that's how long it takes, 8.6 light years. So chapter 86 will make you know what the bright star is, or Al-Tariq is. It's the bright piercing star, as it says. Okay, we now took you 8.6 light years there. So we give you outer space coordinates, and then we give you Earth references on golden means, geometry, and all of these things. Now The Quran says we are closer to you than your jugular vein. You know what that means? The information that the Quran is talking about is biology, the God that is in us. That's Quran. Told you Quran, man. He taught God. He taught man the Quran. Nah, and this ain't talking about this Quran right here. No, teaches knowledge in natural sciences. The Quran is a book composed of natural sciences. So you go study science and come back to the Quran to see if it's the truth. You know the Quran says somewhere in one of them verse 37s, because I had to go through 37s and look and see what's going on. One of them verses and chapters, the Quran will tell you, hey, there ain't no book like this book. And if you can produce one like it, then go ahead and produce it. Try. You won't be able to do it because this is an infallible book and there is no lie in it. And I said, shoot, I take the challenge. I ain't gonna lie about it. What? You talking about? Come on, let's bring it on. If I find it, I'll say it. Okay, like, nah, that's a challenge. You know what that's called? Put up or shut up. That's what the Quran does. Put up or shut up. I'm telling you, when you listen to the tonality of the Quran, I'm telling you, it's a black parent talking to you. Okay, well, nobody tell me. It's a black parent talking to you. Okay? All right. So, this is beautiful. This is coming back to you. So how does Islam is known as a reformer? Again, and I'm not picking when I show this picture. I'm not picking. I just want to show something here. Good old Brittany. Brit. So last time Brit posted, it was actually about 5 days after this. But on June 20th, like May 30th, she actually posted another picture. But this is the last time you see her key marred up. Yeah, right. And then you see one of her latest posts. Back to the cheeks being out. Yes. Why do I have this here? I have this here because I can relate to this. Once again, what happens is, and this is my opinion, you can develop a disconnect within the religion, especially when you go Far East Islam. I'm just going to say it. When you go Sunni and Shia, you will miss it. You will feel disconnected. You absolutely will, irregardless to the millions of Muslims who embrace it, you will feel disconnected. But if you know the origin, and if you know that you can still keep your customs in practice, and if you truly understand the Quran in its entirety, when it says every nation will have a messenger speaking their own language, then you are to be comfortable in your skin inside of this practice and not uncomfortable. So I'm not afraid to understand what I perceive to be basic common sense. How is Prophet Muhammad, how is he the last messenger? It says he's the seal of the prophets. Now, a seal can mean a top. Put this top on, nothing can get in, nothing can come out. Yes, okay. But how about a seal also represents a signet, a ring, a sign? So he is the sign of the prophet in a sense. Now, you're going to say that prophets are automatically messengers. I challenge that. The Quran says he is the seal of the prophets, but then in a whole nother thing is going to tell you that every nation will have a messenger speaking their own language. Messenger, prophet. Messenger, prophet. Not the same. Because now we got a big basic contradiction. How is he the last prophet when we're here all the way in America? He's not here right now, nor do we speak Arabic, but the Quran promises we get a messenger speaking our own language. Make it make sense to me, Arab. It don't make no sense. So now the believers, the beginners who will come in, who already feel culturally disconnected, but acceptable enough where you can make it acceptable for your standard, but you know it's a disconnect that's there. Now we got a battle. Now we got a battle because we don't understand what it looks like today in the 21st century. We don't understand what it looks like today in the 21st century. The only thing I could do is try my best, to try my God-given best to articulate the best way that I can, that hopefully it makes sense for you and it clicks. That it clicks. I play one more video and then we can go to a quick Q&A. All right. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Allah. So for me, I would say like the golden heart has been it's been opening. It's been opening emotionally, mentally, and it's like you said from the beginning. It provides structure and a level of protection that I feel that I haven't felt in studying other religions or other spiritual paths. And I know, like reading the Quran, I feel like I hear God's voice more than I hear His voice in the Bible. It's very direct.
All right. That's the effect of what Islam looks like today within your culture in the 21st century. We got to be able to put all of the pieces together. We have to. If not, we'd be fragmented. We'd be fragmented. Okay. Yusuf said, was he a seal of the Nabi, prophets and of the children of Israel, and the Rasul messenger for us? The Quran mentions the future Rasul. Whoa, they're gonna say stuff a lot, brother Yusuf. You are saying that the Quran is talking about another messenger. And it does. It does. I hinted to it one time in the description of some things, but it's there. It's absolutely there. Rashid Khalifa knew it was there and got it somewhere as his chapters have like sections, and so every time it's about to get into a different section, it says it. But he say somewhere in there that yeah, it's a different messenger. They're not talking about Prophet Muhammad at that time. I would love to find it real quick. I don't know what chapter that is, but it's in there. It's in there from his understanding of the Quran. And he's the one that broke down the code of the Quran, unveiling the number 19, working with computers early on and through the Quran and the computer, and had it just, mathematically map everything out. That's how he came across the code. This Quran, although I do not agree with a lot of the translation, but it be enough to get me to say, oh, let me go look at the translation of this, and then a whole new insight comes about it. But in the back of this Quran, he tells you, probably in the beginning too, he tells you, it's in the back, how this came about, this mathematical code. Over it is 19. He talks about it. Okay. So it's a very interesting story to get, for sure. All right. All right. What we got? Blackmore Friedman. What's happening? Every nation is sent a messenger, and all of the 12 Imams were black. Abdul Muttalib fathered 10 lords, all black as night, the hadith says. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. I had to screenshot that and make a note of that. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the thing. This thing clearly is talking about the future. Right? So where do we fall inside of this? And what are we to do inside of this? You know what I mean? So listen, man, I know what I gotta do. And I'm not here to tell nobody what to do unless they ask me an opinion about some things. Right? But we got a beautiful divine work to do. You know what I mean? No, I haven't. The Puya translation? Nope, I have not. Never even heard of it. The Puya translation. I'm writing that down too. I'm gonna make a note of that. Puya translation. I'm trying to figure out where in Rashad Khalifa's Quran did he talk about another messenger, because he was calling he was saying that it was, I want to say he used the name Ahmed and not Muhammad. He used like Ahmad in a sense, which you still see that comes after Hamid. But he got it in here in one of them sections. I'll have to find it. All right, how y'all feeling? Y'all good? Okay, so number one, Shia translation. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to find that, man. Hold on. I'm not gonna rely on my memory. Let me write some things down here. All right. The Puya translation. Okay. Young Act, what'd you say? Your take on Khadijah being a nun. Man, are we talking about the prophets Khadijah in the beginning, or I'm not familiar with it at all. I'm not familiar with it. But listen, I'll put it up. I got a book called The Miraculous, the Compendium of the Miraculous, that's going in on Catholic nuns and Catholic priests, that's showing you the miraculous powers that some people have obtained based off of their devout devotion. You know what I mean? Off the chain. So I'm not familiar with it. I never heard it. You know what I'm saying? To give an opinion on it, but I highly respect supernatural things. You know what I'm saying? And it can be achieved in any school of thought. Christianity, Buddhism. You got to find the one that works best for you and whatnot. But I never heard it. Brother Youssef, I have to look into that surah. I have to look in there because I'm looking with a different lens. Not that what you're saying differently, but I'm looking for myself at a different lens to start to see and whatnot. So I'm gonna make note of that because that may be a little alley-oop for me to go look into it and see what I see. So I appreciate that and whatnot. So I gotta. It's not like for me. I got Fatiha is this. So what I'm doing is this is why I got to get off to my hermitage. Yeah, I want to go back through all these chapters. You know, I did Fatiha, I think it was last week, and Fatiha is clearly talking about a woman. There's only 7 verses in Fatiha, and 6 verses are absolute. The first 6 verses is talking about a woman. You know what I mean? So to me, Fatiha got a whole new meaning now. So does Qadr, the Night of Power. That's talking about a woman as well. You know what I mean? So I'm going back in with that lens that I have before I want to lend my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? And I got some work to do. All right. Okay. I got you. Oh yes, sir. Absolutely. I got it right here. It's right here in the other room. Yes, I absolutely had that. Yeah. I got that. I ain't a big boy. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I look it up. So 56, that's what that's right after Rahman 55 and whatnot. Right. Rahman Rahman is one of them chapters too. That's just flat out how ungrateful are you human beings, man? How ungrateful are you? So the inevitable, what we got here? So we got 96 verses. So yeah, this is the one where I swear by the position of the stars. This is an oath. If only you knew. It's awesome. This is an honorable Quran and a protected book. None can grasp it except the sincere. So what this translation reads and whatnot. So yeah, we got lower heavens, upper heavens. I got to go through this one. Yeah, I gotta go through this one, but I got a highlight in there, which is verse 75 through 79, is a highlight in that chapter for me. Because they said he sectioned this one off as only the sincere can understand the Quran, and 75 and 76 is saying, I swear by the position of the stars. It actually say planets. It's not stars. This is an oath. If only you knew how awesome. This is an honorable Quran and a protected book. And it's like, what are you swearing by the position of planets and stars for? Then you saying that is an oath, and then you say this is a Quran. Like what? So, there's something about that we need to be in tune with, because you're saying that's an oath, that's an obligation. Yeah, look into that, the cosmic oath. So yeah, I'll look into that. But what's more, I'm gonna tell you what I feel to your question though. I'm getting the feeling that I'm getting, which is the sword that I'm working on now, which I'm gonna play at the end. Is Takwir, when we dealing with 81, the overthrowing. Ida Shamsu Kuriyat. When the sun go out. Yeah. So, which, by the way, science said the sun will go out. Yeah, think about that. Science said, let's say science is correct. Science is like, hey, listen. That star, the sun, is going to burn out in about 5 billion years. Ooh, that's very interesting, because that's the same time that the Milky Way galaxy is going to merge with Andromeda galaxy, and our sun is going to go out, and it's going to be a whole new reality that's going to be created. So when you hear the opening of 81, Ida Shamsu Kuriyat, right? And it's telling you, hey, like indeed, when the lights of the sun go out, or when it's gone, that's an event that's going to happen in 5 billion years. So if the Quran can give you a history, because the Quran gave you Big Bang, certainly it was one mass and we exploded it, and we created the heavens and earth on the second day, or the second period. And when I did the math, the universe, 13.8 billion years divided by 6 periods of creation, you get 2 point something. And that's exactly how old the earth is. The second period is 4. So 2 times 2, the second period. So 2 point something years, billion years times 2 periods give you 4 point something. I think it was 4.6. And that's right in that the earth is said to be like 4.54 billion years old. So it's dead on. So if the Quran is giving you a history of 13.8 trillion years with accuracy, 13.8 trillion years with accuracy, why wouldn't it give us 4.5 billion years with accuracy if it can give us 13.8 trillion years? So it's talking about the advent of a whole new galaxy that's going to get created. Now, since we these physical beings, we may think like, well, I ain't gonna be here. I'll never know. I'll never be over there. No, okay. If you believe that the spirit of the creator is eternal and therefore that can't die, you will be there in some shape, form, or fashion. Now, if you're gonna be a rock, a mineral, a light bulb, a piece of wood, an electron, and not even a whole atom, you're just an electron, not even an atom, or you be something else that is just big, the essence of you shall be somewhere. Let me because you know the saying, energy can't be destroyed. So it has to be something. Yes. All right. All right. What is that? The Usal al-Kafi in the books of Iman, Jafar as-Sadiq. Which one of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Yes. Which one of the favors of your Lord will you deny? That's Rahman. He be going all in, man. You gonna deny this? You gonna deny this? You gonna deny this? You gonna deny that? Yes, sir. So you in Instaball? Oh yeah, man. Good looking, man. Let me know how that go, because you definitely in Roomy land. Let me know how that go. All right. What time is it? 2:00. All right. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna remove this. I thought I'm gonna do idle cursey, but I thought I had loaded up Al-Taqwa earlier and I didn't. So I was gonna play that as the intro, but I'll play it as the outro. But look, man, we gotta if y'all missed my show, when was that? Wednesday with my Milana. Check it out. It just posted. We doing part 2 on Sunday the 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern. I haven't set the show yet, but subscribe to the channel, click the notification button, and but Sunday on the 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do part 2 and get more into some of these mystical experiences, whatnot. So that's going to be a phenomenal show. First show was really, really, really dope. Appreciate all the feedback that we got from it and whatnot. But go check it out. Love to have you in the Patreon if you can make it in the Patreon and whatnot. Let us study with you, or you come study with us as well. For our Sunday classes and Tuesday on Arabic classes. We're about to have some real fun. I can't wait to this Sunday. We're gonna understand what Goliath was. You gotta come on, man. Like Minister Jew said, like, man, do you think Samson really put a dreadlock around a column and pulled a column of a building down with a freaking dreadlock? Like, come on, man. We have to know that this stuff is talking about something else, right? And our job is to show you that. I'm going to show you what Goliath is trying to get you to do. Yeah, Goliath is a monster in your mind. Okay. Johnny. I'm gonna say Goliath wasn't real. But for this Sunday, and I don't have no knowledge of Goliath being a Nephilim and whatnot. But for this Sunday, Goliath 100% is an aspect of you having to do something. Okay, you got to do something. All right. So I can't disclose it now because that's what we're doing on Sunday. All right. All right. What's going on, Sharita? New Astro to boost your biz video posted in the all chat. All right. So all things business chat late last night. Okay. So in the Patreon, Sharita is saying, hey, listen, she's a Virgo, so she pays attention to details. She's telling you how to leverage planetary energies in your alignment with them to better boost your own business if you in business or aspire to be in business. Okay. So she does that, man. Crazy. That report is next level detail. All right. So check it out. It's over in the Patreon. Is where we be. All right. So I appreciate y'all, black women. Hey, get your butt in Islam. That's the overall message. Get your butt in this mystical Islam. Come on home. Come on home. And trust me when I tell you, I couldn't have said it better than the way Janine said it. This is a safe place, a great place to be in to really understand this and really see. I was sent to do something very deep. If you notice, I really don't play in the realm of manifestation of physical things. I gave you those tools. Those tools are still there, but that's not my focus. My focus is to get at listen, I'm not in with this. In this teaching, we are taught that our experiences that we have are trapped images of the past. And now the negative emotion that we assign to the image and we keep associating with the image has lodged itself somewhere in the body. And when you get into an extreme negative state, then it becomes a disease. And there's a few common threads that did, such as forgiveness, such as love, such as compassion. There's a couple threads that are main threads that's connected to these things. So we want to go to the heartstring of things to undo what they call the glue. In the study that I've seen, they said that chemo could not help the radiation. The radiation couldn't help the disease go away, the cancer go away, until the person was able to acknowledge the emotional trauma and then be able to successfully reconcile that mentally, which is emotionally, on how to deal with that. Then the tumors started to shrink. So there could be some cases where things may not work. Herbs, medicine may not work because we haven't dug deep enough to get into what is called the glue that is holding the disease in place. That's deep, man. That's deep. That's heavy. That's heavy. But those are the things that was put on us. You know what I mean? And then how to open up, and it's all that's dealing with the heart, man. All that's dealing with the heart. How to open it up successfully. And understand, I'm going to write a paper on this. I may do it today. And understand that your heart that I showed you earlier in the slide, the one that perceives, your heart is intelligent enough to go within your body, to go get the thing that you need to reconcile in your life. The thought form, get it, shoot it up to the brain so you can consciously see the thing that you need to work on. And you're not consciously, the things that's coming up, you're not consciously, like you may not consciously knew you had to work on this right here, but it's just something that came up. It's because once you start to focus here, it knows how to go get it for you. I'm telling you, this is the truth. All right. I don't have to lie about it. It's the truth. All right. Okay. All right. So I'd love to see you. All right. So with that, we're going to get out of here and listen to, this is my favorite surah in Arabic right now, man. It's super dope. And if you understood this, you ain't never got to worry about, we ain't never got to worry about nobody doing anything to us. Because if you understand this, this is the one that's going to bring it. That's going to bring it. Don't forget, we got something to do tomorrow, 11/22. That's a big major portal day. Tomorrow's big. We got something to do. So pay attention for those of you in the Patreon. All right. Got something to do. All right. All right. I'm out.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت وإذا الجبال سيرت وإذا العشار عطلت وإذا الوحوش حشرت وإذا البحار سجرت وإذا النفوس زوجت وإذا الموءودة سئلت بأي ذنب قتلت وإذا الصحف نشرت وإذا السماء كشطت وإذا الجحيم سعرت وإذا الجنة أزلفت علمت نفس ما أحضرت فلا أقسم بالخنس الجوار الكنس والليل إذا عسعس والصبح إذا تنفس إنه لقول رسول كريم ذي قوة عند ذي العرش مكين مطاع ثم أمين وما صاحبكم بمجنون ولقد رآه بالأفق المبين وما هو على الغيب بضنين وما هو بقول شيطان رجيم فأين تذهبون إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين لمن شاء منكم أن يستقيم وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء